Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have a bit something different. I'm going to be doing these wheel bearings on my brother's car. They're on a 2012 Chevy Equinox LT front wheel drive. So the rear wheel bearings are the same as the all wheel drive. So expect it to have the splines in it. It does fit. So first, just to get straight to the point, you will need to jack your car and use jack stands if you have. So I've already done the left side, but I'm just making a video for the right side because it's my first time doing it, so I just want to make sure that there was no surprise, or it came off well. So but luckily I had new rotors to work with. Sometimes they might be a bit old and rusted, so you might need a bit more force to remove the rotor. But first, after you remove your wheel completely and the car is safe to work on with your jacks secured, you're going to want to remove your brake assembly first. And to do that, you're going to have to remove these two 14mm bolts that's on the brake pads. Then you're going to remove your brake hub assembly. So one, I think it's 50mm, and two second 50mm right here. That one's good. That one's loose, and there you go. So I'll put these aside. Braking cylinder should come right off. I don't have any hangers, so I'm going to place this carefully. Be careful not to kink this line or break it, because that's more issues you don't want. I'm going to remove my brake pads just so they're not in the way. 15mm socket or wrench, same as before. I'm going to take it and remove these two bolts. So one bolt here and the other one here. So easy does it. So remove the assembly for the brake assembly. Put those hardwares aside. There's a Torx bit. I'll show you. It's a T30 bit, if you can focus. So Torx T30 to remove the brake in the brake rotor. So there's a Torx. So remove this T30 Torx. That's right here. And once that's removed, put it aside. The rotor, if it's seized on and yours are on for a while, you can take a hammer and a piece of wood, 2x4 or anything soft, so you don't dent the rotor if you're gonna reuse it. If you're installing new rotors, who gives a shit? You could just hit it off with a hammer on the outer corner. But if it's seized on, you could take a 2x4 with a hammer and just hit to one side and then hit the other side until it unsees, and then it should come right off just like that. So put that aside, and I know you have the parking brake assembly and the wheel bearing assembly. You can hear that. This was what my brother was hearing when he was driving the car, so you know this bearing was going bad. I'm penetrating oil on the 4 studs here and on the back of the wheel parking brake assembly, just to get. If you look, there are 4 bolts that's holding the assembly on. If you can see those 4 bolts, there are, I think, 14mm or 13. I believe they're 13mm actually. Sorry. So 13mm, 4 bolts in the back. Take a breaker bar to release the torque that's on the nuts. I just like to go by hand sometimes, so you can feel how much torque is on it, to know how much to put back when you're installing it. I was saying, so to get more leverage, what you can do is take a socket that is just a bit larger than your handle for your wrench, so you can fit there, and then you use a 6-inch or 3-inch extension, or as much as you need to have more leverage. So you just made this into a breaker bar, and the ratchet will make it go faster. So you have more leverage to turn if you need it. So I've removed all 4 bolts now, as you can see. So all 4 bolts are been removed. So now just gonna spray inside the holes of each bolt to get it into that crease. Don't forget to disconnect the ABS sensor, because I don't want it to fall and it rips this entire thing out. So I'm just going to remove it first, the ABS sensor, and then I will hit the wheel, the parking brake and wheel bearing off. This is going to be scrapped in either way, so I'm going to try to hit it on this angle to see if it will shift it just a bit. Just like that. Voila. So yeah, so this parking brake assembly is attached to the wheel bearing. So what I did to remove it without damaging anything, so I took a piece of wood and I placed just the rim of the parking brake on top of the wood, and then I hit the center of the hub with the sledgehammer. So you put it hammer and then you hit the center here. You push the grommet, the rubber grommet, out through the side that the wheel bearing is, and everything should come out with it as well. So the connector and grommet comes out, and then that's your wheel bearing removed. So put this on the ground for now, and then here is your rusty, really bad wheel bearing. Listen. Alright, so you have your 2 old wheel bearings here, as you can see, and the 2 new ones right here. So I'm gonna do as well before I reinstall the new one. If you don't care, you could just skip it and just reinstall it just like this, but I'm gonna clean this wheel hub up a bit, remove all this corrosion, so that the new one has a nice seat to sit on and it's easy to remove on the next one. I'm gonna put some anti-seize on this surface here, but first I'm going to take a Scotch-Brite and clean all this off. So anti-seize inside here, anti-seize on this flange, this rim here. So it's best to put anti-seize around here so that it will seat properly and it will be easy to remove on the next one. So I'm gonna So I'm ready to install now. So these are the things that I did for preventative measures and to go the extra mile. This is what I use bearing grease, so high temp wheel bearing grease, and lubricated the spline that's inside here and around where the bearing turns, because what happens to these bearings, why they go bad, is water gets inside or salt or shit from the road, whatever, and it erodes the seal that seals out moisture to get inside the ball bearings. So what I did was I created a seal of grease around that seal. Like I created a face of grease around that seal that will help in the future to prevent water from getting in. And when this gets hot, it's gonna just turn to more liquid and then it's just gonna seep in there and be perfect. So that's what I did to both. And then I added anti-seize around the mating surface of the bearing to this mating surface of the car or the wheel hub. So that's going to be perfect and it should come off easy for the next time. And I also did anti-seize on all the bolts. These are my bolts. I'll put them in place for now. So they're going to help me hold the parking brake assembly in place. So put these in place. You take your parking brake, you put it on the bolts. I try to align them if you can. You're going to want to feed your your connector through the hole, so it's easier to get in place. So you just feed it in like that. You can do this boot after, but you just want the connector to go through. Then just with your hand try to catch at least one or two of them so that the hub doesn't fall. Okay, so all four are caught. So now you're going to torque those 4 bolts down with your wrench. And then you want to torque in a cross pattern if you can, so that the bearing seats evenly. So I torqued this corner, the top left corner, then the bottom right corner, then the top right corner, then the bottom left corner. So you do a star pattern to keep it seated evenly. It shouldn't. Okay, so all those 4 bolts are torqued up. So I'm gonna take some more grease and put over the threads of the bolt sticking out on this side, just to prevent moisture from getting on it and be rusted in the future. The main job is done, and now it would just be to reassemble everything as how we took it off. So I won't be explaining that. Just do what you did in reverse, and then job's done. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The wheel hub is back on completely. The brakes are on, torqued. I added some brake lubricant on the sliding pins. Sorry, the sliding pins, and also the brake shoe pads at the end, so that there wasn't none there. I'm surprised that the mechanic never put any, but I'm already here, so why not do it, right? This is my brother's car. I almost forgot. Don't forget, guys, to also plug in your connector for your ABS system. You push it like that, and it might seem like it's all the way in if you look, but it needs to go more. So that's the connector install. Connector is good. Everything, I just do a general inspection and check everything. If everything looks fine, it looks the way it was before. I didn't miss any parts on the floor. I look around. All the bolts are installed, and even the torques as well. Ensure that you install the torques, the T30 torques for the brake rotor. And then now it's just for the wheel to go back on, the lug nuts, and then that's it. Job is done. I'm gonna go for a test drive when I'm finished to see if I still hear the sound. But as I said, we spin the old wheel bearing over there, and we noticed that it was the one that was bad on the right side. So I think the problem is fixed, but it's always good to go for a test drive. We might hear something else, but yeah, job is good. Check your parts, that everything is installed properly and torqued, and that's it, guys. So thanks very much for watching my video. If you enjoy what you see, you could subscribe and like, and I will have more videos to be posted. I'm also currently working on my car over there, the Mazda. I have a bunch of stuff going on, so if you want to see what's up, just stay tuned and subscribe for more, guys. So thanks very much.